Hi, everyone. Welcome to Pete's Epic Golf Podcast. Join golfer Pete as he interviews international and local golf experts and enthusiasts. Golfer Pete's guests are looking to share how his audience can improve their golf game by improving their mindset, skill set, and gear set. We ask our experts to share their practical tips on golf in one or more of these three core areas. Golfer Pete created his podcast as a resource for anyone who loves golf. Join Golfer Pete as he asks the questions we all need answers to in order to improve our golf game.
Hey, I want to welcome our viewers to a special podcast. We're going to be talking about with Bobby Aldridge on some subjects that you probably haven't heard of. Now, Bobby has been on before with a foursome, so we had a lot of general things that we were talking about. We're going to talk about three very specific things today that I think you're going to enjoy. So first, I want to have Bobby introduce himself, tell who he's with and who he's serving in the golf market, and then we'll get started. Go ahead, Bobby.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on there, Pete. I've been in the fitness industry as a strength and conditioning coach for over 30 years, graduated from the University of San Francisco. And being in the business for 30 years, it was very fun to have access to golfers. I really enjoyed golf. It's challenging every day, as you guys know, being golfers. But I found that mobility was the key to helping my players get better. Mobility isn't flexibility. It's a combination of strength and how your joint moves through the range of motion. And I'm very good at helping people reduce their pain. And I came up with some equipment that helps average people do their stuff at home. And pretty rapidly, you feel the difference. I mean, I literally had a guy the other day who plays for the Green Bay Packers who just retired. And he's now, he's 57 years old and he's kind of sore and feeling kind of tight. And I said, hey, why don't you try the wall windmill? He listened to me talk for 6 hours at a convention I was at. And he said, do you think that would help me? I said, yeah, come on over here. So I show him how to do it. So literally, I just teach him how to do the wall windmill. And I don't see him till the next day. He walks in and I'm like, oh my God, Charlie, you look different today. You look taller. Holy mackerel. Like, what do you mean? He's all, Bob, I've been doing that windmill as often as I can. Every time I walk by a wall, I'm doing the windmill. It made a difference in one day for Charlie being an athlete. So really makes a difference quickly.
What do you think? I mean, that's exciting in itself because we're a society of instant gratification. We want results yesterday, not waiting to it. So when you talk about your system, help our viewers understand why you're getting such good results quickly.
Well, the reason is everything's based on metrics. You can see where you place your feet. You can see where you stand. You can see the movements. You lay on the blocks. It's 6 inches, 10 inches, or 12 inches. So it's metrics-based mobility, and there's nothing out there like it. And that's why I can teach you one time. If you guys just watch the videos, you're becoming an expert because you'll know I can put my feet 3 boxes apart and do the exercise. And then a week later, I'm putting my feet 4 boxes apart. So you're basically seeing the results right there. That's what makes it so simple. I had one golf pro that said, this is like fitness for dummies. It's like really basic. Yeah. All you need is the equipment and the videos and you're off and running. And the biggest thing I say to you golfers is whenever I do my seminars, I ask first thing, how many of you here in the last 3 years have bought a new driver? And I'll go almost 100% raise their hand and I'll have 50 people in the room in the last 3 years. Now, why are you buying the shiny object all the time, trying to get more distance? If I took, Kepko or Colin Morikawa or any of these guys and handed them your driver, do you think they'd hit it further than you? Right? It's not because they have a better golf swing. That's true too. But they are stronger. They all work out now. Kepka's one of the strongest guys out there. Gary Woodland. They're all very strong, athletic guys now. They're not just your beer drinking after a round guys anymore. They work out, they eat right, they sleep, they do all the stuff. They drink water. That's all a combination of that. And so, the metrics make it super simple for you guys.
What do you think? As let's say I'm a viewer, I believe in your system. I've always believed in it. I remember when Jeff had you on his podcast, he kept raving about you. And once I listened to it, I went, oh my gosh, but here's my thought. So when it comes to fitness, it's always a chore going to the gym and injuring myself. I just went through my second hernia. If I had had your system with being able to be balanced, I know I wouldn't have gone that way. So a 65-year-old, an older person, what are they doing? How much time are they investing on a regular basis to be able to get to a level that they're going to be very excited about?
Well, like I said, being a trainer, we're used to the 1 hour session. You come in and see me once, twice, or 3 times a week. I've been now doing this for 30 years. So what I try to say to you guys, it's about lifestyle. You fit it into your lifestyle. And these exercises don't take you having to put on the gym shorts and the getting ready to go to the gym and spending 15 minutes driving there, an hour there, and 15 minutes home. No, you can pick and choose. This is what I do with my corporate wellness. At work, you walk to the bathroom, you stop, you do the windmill on the wall. The mat's against the wall, you do the windmill. When you finish, going to lunch, you're going to do the runner stretch. When you're done with the day, you're going to lay on the blocks. So you did 3 things today. And what if you do that every day when you're at work, 5 days, right? That's 15 things you did. And you did it in your clothes. You didn't have to put on the workout clothes. You're not sweaty. You're not, all that is a little extra. You can do this stuff at home. My business grew exponentially during COVID, where people were losing people. I was gaining people because they were all at home. So they just ordered my mat, blocks, and bands, had the videos, and started working out. And one of my favorite golf stories, if you guys go on my website and scroll down, Forbes Collins, one of the mini tour players, calls me and goes, "Bob, what am I going to do? I can't get to the gym." I said, "Dude, you have your mat, blocks, your bands, you have your medicine ball and your stability ball. You're good to go." He sends me a text 2.5 months later when they opened up golf. He went out to play for the first time. He hadn't played in 2.5 months. But he was doing his swing speed drills. He was doing all the stuff. He was hitting his 3-wood. He says, you got to see the text. You got to see what he sent me. It's on my website. "Holy crap, do I have a new gear? I'm pretty sure I was hitting my 3-wood 350 yards. It feels like it's considered cheating." And he said, "Thanks so much, Bobby." But what I'm saying is, this is a high-level player that got results, that works out and does all this stuff. But he always had shoulder pain and back pain. He complained to me. And I'd say, "Forbes, you got to do your mobility exercises, your windmill, your runner stretch, your medicine ball push-ups, the basics," right? I always get back to it's a foundation. If you're jumping to the second floor, you're missing the foundation. And everybody likes to do shiny object. They're on first floor, third floor, fifth floor, but they've missed the foundation. And I start everyone I work with the wall windmill. That's a basic exercise before they even start fitness in the gym. When you get there, you do your wall windmill, then you go to your next thing, whatever that's going to be. But it's got to be done in a lifestyle. You have to fit it in lifestyle so you'll stay with it. If you guys jump in and say, "Okay, now I'm going to do BAM. I'm going to do an hour every day, 3 days a week," it probably won't fit your lifestyle because you're not used to that, right? So I like to start you guys out with, hey, pick 1, 2, or 3, watch one video and just do that today. Watch the next video the next day. Watch the next video. If you have more time, go ahead and watch 6 videos. That's fine. But I don't want you guys to jump in and get all excited and do too much, because I'd rather you do a little bit and get hungry. Do a little bit and get hungry. Because what I'm really changing is your lifestyle, how you do it. Okay. You can get to 5 days a week, an hour a day, if that's really what you want to fit into your lifestyle. What is important to you? Do you want to hit the ball longer? Do you want to score lower? Do you want to have less pain? You guys have to figure out how much time to put in it. And the more time you put into it, the faster the result comes. So when people say, "How long does it take?" Well, if you're doing 1 exercise a day, it might take 6 months. But if you're doing 7 exercises a day, it might take 3 weeks. It might take 2 weeks. And you're like, "Oh my God, my back feels great," which makes you swing faster. When I take your guys' compensations away, those are the dysfunctions that cause pain. If you're in pain, you can never swing faster. Buying a new driver is not going to help you swing faster.
Right.
But if you work on your mobility and you take out those compensations, those are what cause the dysfunctions, which cause pain. Colin Morikawa is one of those guys right now. His caddy, I've been friends with. He used to play in the Skins game with us here. 5 years, ever since he started with Colin, I've been saying, let me help Colin. But Colin has his guys. Okay. Colin, about a month ago, 6 weeks ago, whatever it was, had back pain and jumped out of the tournament. He tweaked his back on while he was warming up. Okay. So I sent him a text and said, dude, when are we going to, work with Colin? This is crazy. I don't care if he has his guys. Tell his guys to come watch me work with him so they can learn what I'm teaching him, and then I will leave. I'm not looking to steal him as a client. Long story short, they said they talked to the trainer. The trainer's supposed to call me. He still hasn't called me. Been like 6 weeks. Maybe they're waiting till the end of the season, and then the reason I'm telling you the story is because most people out there think at the high level these guys know all this stuff. They don't, and they don't measure their mobility. They have no clue how wide their feet are when they do their spread feet wide and rotate. That's an exercise all of you golfers should be doing out there. It's called spread feet wide and rotate. Can your viewers see some of the exercise? Can they see, or do they just listen? Because I could show a couple so it makes sense to them if they're watching.
There's video component. So yes, you could. Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, like I just said, so back here I have my mat. Okay. So when I come back here, I'll bring it a little bit closer to you guys. Right. So when you guys are doing spread feet like this, I put my feet, say I'm at 52 right now, right? And say I'm going to reach and stretch. Okay. This one feels amazing for golfers. Okay. Because you're stretching out all of your lats. You're getting your inner thighs. You're getting internal rotation, external rotation. And I'm doing both sides. So what I do is I'm on 52. I just did both sides. Now I'm going to go to 54. So I just widen my feet 2 inches. I stretch again. I do both sides, right? Then I go to 56. So do you see how I'm building up and getting wider? Yep. But I know my metric. Also, if I'm going to do spread feet wide and rotate this one, right? And for you guys that think like, oh my God, I could never do that. You can do this. That's why I have the blocks for you guys. For you beginners, you put the blocks like this. You spread your feet, say 36. So that means half is 18. Put your hand right here and just practice this. If you can't do this, you can't play golf at your best. It's not possible. Right. And if you're a good golfer and you do this, I can make you a great golfer because I can just make you move better and better and better, which increases your swing speed, reduces your pain, gets you to crack the whip, you have better balance, all that comes together. But the idea is the metrics make this doable for you guys. Average people become great mobility experts because they know where to place themselves. It's like the mini band walk with a band. When you put the band on your ankles, how wide are your feet when you do this, right? With my mat, I can start with one box and do this. Next week, I can go to 2 boxes. In the third week, I can go to 3 boxes. So do you see how I'm controlling the movement?
Yep.
And you do the sets that work for you. If you're a beginner, you could do 2 sets over and back, just like this, 1 box. I finish all the way across. I did my 2 sets. I'm done with that one. Then I'm going to do staggered stance. So I spread my feet. This one's really difficult to teach unless you have the mat. With the mat, it's super simple. I mean, foot forward, foot back, don't touch the middle line, and go.
Wow.
One of the funny things I have of teaching these different exercises is once I show you, you guys are an expert. That's the nice thing about this. So, yeah.
That's incredible. I've seen it, but every time I see it again, I'm blown away by the simplicity and the exactness of the metrics of being able to know where you are as an individual and being able to get better by just gradually improving. At what point, so 30 years, at what point did the light bulb go off to the simplicity of your system and you started seeing results with your client? Was that year 10, year 15? Was there a point where it just clicked?
I came up with this equipment about 12 years ago. So I started coming up with these different tools because I was drawing lines on yoga straps for my players that would go out and you play golf. I have a warm-up that we do 4 moves that in about 7 minutes, you're super loose and ready to go. So I would draw lines, and that's how I came up with numbers on a strap. And then I was trying to help these older ladies stretch with the strap, and they said I can't hold it long enough. So I came up with a vest to put on and hands-free stretching.
Mm-hmm.
Then a few years later, I had the strap and I was using it on the floor, and we kept knocking it around. I said, oh my God, I should put that strap on a mat, so we have numbers on it. And then I was thinking, we're doing minivan walks. Oh my God, I should put boxes on the mat too. And that's how I came up with the mat. So all this stuff kind of came out of a need.
Right.
And now, like I said, there's like 700 exercises you can do with the mat because there's so many different movements, but the mat just helps you be efficient with the movement. And the more efficient you are, the better the results. It's like a golf swing. The more efficient, the more consistent, lower the scores, more distance.
Now, this is probably an obvious question, but I think our viewers might be thinking of it. So, the golfer warms up. So what are you seeing, like the golfer spending a couple minutes doing a couple things, and he's ready and he's limber and he's mobile and he's flexible? What are they doing? A couple just little simple things before they start their round?
Well, I always say it depends on the person, kind of what do they need. But one of my favorites that I use, I mean, literally, I have this in my golf bag. This is my strap. Let me show you guys real quick so it makes sense to you. So it has numbers on it, right? So you see these numbers here.
Yep.
So can you guys see that?
Yep.
So let me close this circle because we were using this yesterday. So, for example, because it has numbers on it, I can test my arms to see how tight I am. Okay. Right there tells me, 31. Okay. I usually start at about 28. I'm tight right now. So 28's tight. Okay. So I'm going to start at 28. That's my number. The other day when I grabbed this, I was actually loose because I was doing all kinds of stuff on camera. And when I grabbed it, I was at 26 and I was like effortless. Okay. But that tells me something, right? Not just grab a pole and do it and just be in the ballpark. I know my metric. So for example, what we do is we spread our feet wide like this, guys.
Right.
Feet are wide. Okay. And then my hands are right over the top. And then I rotate and I drop. So this is stretching the fascia from my foot all the way to my hand. What is this good for, guys? Look, what's the golf swing?
Yeah.
It's a side bend. Golf swing is a side bend and rotate. So what am I doing right here? And I figured this out with a PGA therapy van in the PGA fitness van. Some years ago, I forget when I did this, but I was doing this with these guys, and I used to do it with my feet like this and loosen up. And I used to go back and forth. And the guy we're talking about, he says, hey, you could get a little bit more internal and external rotation if you widened your feet. And when I started that, I was like, oh my God. So I measure my feet with my strap and it's 26. So what I do is I go 2 inches out here as I go 2 inches in with my hands. So I move into 26. I go 2 inches wider here. So then I'm at 28 with my strap if I use the strap on the ground. If not, I use the mat and I know my metric, so 50. So here, open up. This opens everything up, guys. And I have a funny story on this one. Just this one exercise, I showed a guy. I was showing these guys coming through the 7th hole. I was working the 10th and I was doing one mobility exercise and then go hit your driver. All right.
Right.
So this guy gets out of the cart. He can barely walk, comes over to me and I go, hey, let's try this out. This guy could barely get his arms over his head. Okay.
Right.
And the wife yells, hey, he's got shoulder problems, back problems. He can't do that. And I said, no, he'll be fine. So I take him, I get him his position. I said, widen your feet as much as you can. Do you feel a little bit of a stretch? Good. And I had him do this, right? Up and rotate, up and rotate. And then I said, move your hands in a couple inches. Do it again. We did it 3 times. And I said, okay, you're good. Go hit a golf ball. He gets over there and he goes, and he misses the ball. And he goes, oh my God, that was like the loosest swing I've ever had. And this guy's not a fitness guy. So it was quite funny to see that, happen with this guy. So like we say, how good a result, it depends on the person. But for him, he had not moved like that in probably 30 years. So is he,
I think it's funny as I'm listening to you. sometimes the simplest of things go over people's head because it's like, it can't be that easy. I've been used to this, and I've been told this, and this. So do you often hear like, it's too simple? Do you hear questions like that?
Yep. A lot of times it's just people think it's like, what's the trick, or what is okay, this is a sales pitch, or, that's the thing is if I get people in person, like I had this 82-year-old at my seminar. It's in my golf book, this testimonial, but he basically sat there with his arms crossed looking at me like, kid, you don't get it. By the end of my seminar, he gets up, he's walking around, he's all excited, comes up to me, and I said, when did it hit you that you could do this? And he starts to talk, and I go, no. Go talk to the camera. Everybody else needs to hear this, not me. I know it works. You have to go tell them. So what he said was, I can see myself doing this. I can see myself getting a result. And all I'm trying to do is play golf 9 holes 3 times a week. And I haven't been able to do it anymore because I'm in pain. I've been having trouble with my, whatever it was. And now he sees the light that, wow, it isn't that difficult. Oh, I can do 1 box light band and work up to whatever you're going to be. That's what I try to tell people is sometimes the mountain's a big mountain, right? You're way at the bottom. You got pain. You can't play like Pete, like you right now, like what you're dealing with. It's a long road to get to where I am, where I feel fantastic, right? But I've been doing this for a long time, and it's just like my push-up contest. Like I didn't know how well my program was working until my son, who plays baseball, finishes baseball. He's 12, and he says, "Can we have a bench press contest with the team and with the bar?" I said, "Sure." They go do it. They do 18. Then the high school kids jumped in and said, "We want to do it." And they did 38. Then the college kids jumped in and they did 78. And they said, "Bob, what can you do?" And I'm like, "Oh God, I don't bench 315 anymore. I bench about 250. I did 104 when I benched 315. So I'm thinking, wow, I'm going to struggle to get, 79 or 78. So I get on there. I have no idea. I start going. I'm 75, 100, 150, 200. I did twice as many now, not as strong, but more functional because my shoulders are in a better position. So my triceps got tired, not my shoulders. So what I tell people all the time is like, I didn't know it worked that well. I didn't know my body was in that good of position. I hear a lot of times that people think I'm taller, right? That have seen me for years, and I see them 5 years later. They're like, "Bob, you're taller, dude." I'm just standing up straight now. I'm not the bodybuilder in the gym, deadlifting, back squatting, doing all the Olympic lifting, crushing my body, but not mobilizing it. We didn't know about mobility 20 years ago. If our knees hurt, we just did another set and didn't complain.
Right.
Now we know like why the knee hurts. Oh, my IT band's tight. Let's go roll that out. Oh, let's stretch that. Let's runner stretch that. We have things to do. And that's what I like to teach people. So if you join the BAM community and start learning some of these simple exercises, you will feel better. And this is another story. I broke my back in a car accident in college, got hit. It takes time sometimes. So for you guys looking for a quick fix that have been in pain for a long time, sometimes it takes more time than you think. It took me 2 years to figure out, oh, I have to hit my adductors, long adductors. And I did this one exercise that helped my back for the first time. It took me 2 years to figure that out. I almost gave up on golf. Like, I can't play this anymore. I went to a Sharks event, the hockey team, and each Shark guy was playing with one of the groups. It was one of those charity events.
Right.
And I was so excited to play with the coach. Coach was playing with us. So I couldn't bend over to putt. My back hurt so much. I couldn't putt that day. I could literally, I was drinking beers, taking little pills that would help with pain. I tried everything that nothing helped. My back still hurt. So I could have gave up that day and said, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. Right. But I went home pissed going, how do I fix this? What am I going to do differently? And just kept chasing different things and trying things and doing it and asking questions. And so, like I said, sometimes it takes a long time. But once you get there, you know what to do. Now you're healthy because you can take care of yourself, and you can't take it for granted. That's the other thing I learned. I went to Fiji. They don't have carpet over there. Okay. 3 days in, I'm kayaking 2 to 4 miles every day across 2 miles and 2 miles back. My family's in the kayak and I'm kayaking.
Right.
And I couldn't stretch. I couldn't do my stuff. I couldn't do my things on the floor that I normally do. On the third day, I couldn't get out of bed. My back was like, oh, what the heck is that?
Wow.
It's back. What the heck? Oh my God, I freaked out. And I said, hon, I can't go today. I got to lay down. My back's killing me right now. So that pain, the PSIS joint locked up because I kept just strengthening and rotating, but I didn't open it up. I didn't foam roll it out. I didn't get on the floor and do the things I normally do. And I thought that pain was gone forever. But being there in Fiji, it came back again. I was like, oh my God, this can come back again? Oh, so it freaked me out. And it really got me where every day now I do a little bit. And guys, I'm not the fitness guy I used to be of 2 hours every day, sometimes twice a day in the gym, hanging out to meet the girls, all the fun stuff. I'm married 20 years now, 2 kids, busy with work. So I do lifestyle, like teaching you guys today. I just did spread feet wide and reach. I got a little bit of that in. So I won't do more of that later. I'll do maybe a windmill later, right after this. Then tonight, first thing before I got out of bed this morning, when I got into the shower, I did the runner stretch in the shower because I have a step I put my hands on, and then I put my feet in the runner stretch and I do it there. So I'm fitting these things into my lifestyle. And then tonight, when I get home, I'm going to watch TV for an hour or two. I'm not going to waste time. I'm going to lay on my back. I'm going to do some foam rolling. I'm going to do some bands. I'm going to do something. And if I do that stuff tonight, tomorrow night, I'll do different things. And that's really how I do my program now. I do it in lifestyle. I have an athlete.
Work it into your life of the busy life that you have, little 1-minute things here and there. And that's been able to keep you in the shape that you're in.
Feeling great. Right. And it's literally, guys, I always say it's like brushing your teeth. Do you brush your teeth once a week, twice a week?
Right.
No, some of you do it 2 or 3 times a day. Well, that's the same thing as your body. Treat your body like you treat your teeth, and you're going to feel better. And the thing is, all these motions that I'm teaching you guys, it's for you. It's for the pro athlete. It's for both. Why is that? How many times have you heard trainers say, well, you can't give everybody the same program, right? You can't give them the same program. Yeah, that's true somewhat, but not mine, because everybody needs to do a windmill. Everybody needs to do a runner stretch. Everybody needs to do spread feet wide and rotate. Everybody needs to do the Bretzel. Everybody needs to do medicine ball push-ups. These are everybody. So what I'm teaching, the 12 or 16 exercises you're going to learn are for everybody. From there, we'll get fancy. Everybody wants to get fancy first, but you're strengthening dysfunction, and dysfunction leads to pain. Those are your compensations. Just like your golf swing, guys. When you compensate and throw your hips forward, right? That's because you have to compensate because you can't move properly and stay in that balanced position. So you early extend. So being a Titleist Performance Institute TPI trainer, we have ways to test you with 12 movements to see how do your shoulders move, how do your hips move, how do your ankles, what's your balance, how do you move? And then we can give you some exercises. What I found with what I teach, and it took me a long time to do this, which exercises could I give to everyone? Okay. That's a hard thing to do. Very hard to pick out. It took me probably 3 years, 4 years to figure this out, literally trying to think about how can I sell a product, but give it to everyone, right? That's really hard to do without having level 1, level 2, level 3, pro athlete, that sort of thing. So I really thought about this. I talked to a lot of people. Don Chu is one of the top guys out there in the industry who just retired. He's 81, but he's been my mentor for years. And he said, one of my exercises is the greatest core strengthener you could do. And everybody would think it's a push-up routine, right? They would think like, oh, that's a push-up routine. No, it's a core strengthener. And for golf, it's fantastic. But Don Chu was the president of the NSCA, National Strength and Conditioning Association. He worked with all the athletes at Stanford. He worked with NFL. He tested all the NBA guys to see who's athletic in their rookie year. He wrote the book on jumping into plyometrics. He's a very, very well-known guy. He thinks my mat is a great tool to help everyone improve their movement. So
Well, it's so exciting to hear something simple and doable for the masses. It's not like you've got to spend a lot of money and you got to spend a lot of time to get the kind of results that we all want. So we'll put in the show notes a link to the system. Give our viewers an idea about what are they looking at investing in your system.
$200. It's literally the mat is 118, the blocks are
Right.
89, and then the bands, and I made it a cool 199.
Awesome.
But you get the videos for free. And I have another program right now where I'm having people pay for those videos. So it's much more in that way. But for your listeners today, I'll send you guys the video so you'll have those, because it'll teach you everything I just talked about today. What the heck is a windmill? What's a runner's stretch? What's a spread feet wide? What's a bretzel? It's all in there in the videos. You literally just watch the video and do the exercise. Super, super simple.
And they can go to Amazon and get any of your number of your books just by putting Bobby Aldridge and just put BAM, I guess, BAM metrics, put it in there and your books will come up. And
just put Bobby Aldridge. It'll pop up. You'll see the two books.
Okay.
And my golf book will be coming out in the next couple weeks.
Okay. Awesome.
That's got a lot.
We might have it out by the summit, possibly. So that'll be good. That's awesome. Well, Bobby, I know you're busy and you got people that you've got to take care of, and you got to keep that golf game top notch, because your son looks like he's going to be beating you before long. So you always want to be playing top golf. So thanks, Bobby. I appreciate it. Any other parting thoughts before we let our viewers go for today?
No, but I hope you guys will give it a shot. And if you have questions, you can always email me, bobby@bammotion.com.
Okay.
And Pete can put that in there so people can reach out to me. But I just say, give it a try, guys. You can't lose. It's not the shiny object. It's the object you will use at least once, twice, 3 times a day. And if you do it, you're going to get a result. That's for sure. Every 100% across the board, everybody gets better. How much better? I don't know. So,
and we always do for our podcast is, do you know of one person that would be a great guest for our viewers that you could recommend off the top of your head? They don't even have to be West Coast, even though West Coast has those talented people out there. Anybody off the top of your head you can think of?
Well, one of my favorites is John Grund, the golf pro who played on tour. John, look him up, John Grund.
Okay.
And he went to UCLA, played on the PGA Tour. He's friends with everyone. I literally can say, hey, I go see Kenny Perry. Hey, Kenny Perry, how are you? John Grund says hi. They'll stop what they're doing and walk right over to me and go, hey, how is Johnny? I mean, it's like, wow. So John Grund is a great one.
That's awesome. Well, we appreciate it, Bobby. And thank you so much for being a guest on our podcast. And you have a wonderful day. Keep the ball in the fairway.
All right. Thanks so much, Pete. Take care.